All right, everyone, we're back for the players portion here with Patrick Surtain. We're going to go ahead and get started with Ryan Hennessy.
Hey, Patrick. We asked Coach this as well. Just wanted to see what your reaction was. Your old teammate, Tua, got into the game. Pretty cool to see his journey from his injury to come back to making his dreams turn to a reality in the NFL.
It was a pretty special moment. I know he's been waiting to get back on the field since the injury, and when he got in, I know the fans cheered him on. I believe it was a special moment for him.
Next question for Tony Sakalas.
Hey Pat, that touchdown that Devontae had in the back of the end zone, how tough is that to guard as a defensive player? And has he made anything like that on any of y'all during practice at any point?
Those are quite the catches. We see every day in practice. He work on his hands every day, but for a defensive back, that's very hard to guard, especially when you as tight as of coverage on him, and for him to make that catch is just unbelievable.
Stephen Smith, go ahead.
Hey, Patrick. I know he's a freshman, but he just looks so comfortable in that secondary. What makes Malachi Moore that comfortable?
Just what he prepares like. He prepares every day like a pro. He steps in confident every day in practice, and it shows on the field. And he's getting better each and every week. And the sky's the limit, like I said, for him, and he can only keep getting better. So, he's a very valuable asset to our secondary.
Over to Charlie Potter.
Hey Pat, Coach Saban just talked about the importance of turnovers, not only in this last game but the game coming up. Just how big were those two picks that you guys got in the second half against Georgia?
I believe they were momentum swingers. We obviously needed big plays on defense. Coach preached about it the whole week, especially in the second half. It was a close game, but those turnovers helped us. Differentiate the game.
Michael Casagrande, you're up.
Yeah, Pat, we saw the video of Saban pretty excited after the game in the locker room. What was that like to see him so fired up, and what was that moment like in the locker room after that win?
He was excited for the win, but we have a 24-hour rule, so I believe he wasn't as excited. But he was still happy though. But it's good to see coach like that.
Over to John Zener.
Yeah, Patrick, do you think that second half, that shutout, is that something that can build y'all's confidence, kind of help y'all's execution, the importance of execution? Do you see that kind of being something y'all can build on?
Most definitely. We can learn from this week, learn from our mistakes, and look at the positives as well, and build it on to the next week and the weeks after. And I believe we get more comfortable as a defense as we keep on producing turnovers.
Mike Rodak, over to you.
Yeah, Pat, just outside of those turnovers, you still had two drives before that in the second half against Georgia where you were able to get off the field. Obviously, getting off the field on third downs was kind of an issue before then. What changed, and what were some of the coaching points that seemed to resonate there?
I believe the biggest thing was, communicating on third down, everybody on the same page, getting the calls around, and also playing with confidence on third down, because we know third down we got to get off the field, and get the ball back to our offense. So, we take pride in that.
James Ogletree, you're up.
Yeah, Patrick, kind of along those same lines. How much was the defense different, or you guys' ability to especially defend the pass different with Jordan Battle not there for the first half? And just what have you seen out of him in his first couple games as a sophomore now with a year under his belt?
Well, I believe, without Jordan being there, players needed to step up, and they stepped up big time. We played as a secondary very well, and I believe that goes to show you that when somebody goes down, we just reload and, players step up and do what they need to do. But Jordan, he's been, a valuable asset to the secondary as well. He's been producing, making plays, and, he's very comfortable in this situation right now.
Unless there are any others, we'll finish up with Tony Sakalas.
2 years ago, you guys had a similarly emotional win against LSU. What have you guys learned about how to respond from those that maybe you didn't do so well 2 years ago?
Say it again.
2 years ago, you had a big win against LSU, an emotional win, and there were some thought that maybe as the season, progressed from there, maybe you guys kind of took your foot off the gas. There was some said about that. What did you guys learn from that situation that maybe you'll take it after a similarly emotional win this week?
We just learned we can't take no weeks off. We got prepared every week like it's your last week. That sort of, kicked us in the foot a little bit 2 years ago. But, we learned from our mistakes, and we just ready to start something new this year.
Thank you, Pat. We'll bring up our next player, Najee Harris, here in a moment. Once you're up on the podium, you'll be able to see.
Oh, yeah, facts.
Good, right?
Yeah, let me see. Hold up.
We're joined with Najee Harris. We'll open it up. First question will go over to Charlie Potter.
Hey Najee, you were one of the first guys over there to Will Reichert after that 52-yard field goal. Just what do you think of that and the job he's done so far this year?
Yeah, I think Will have done a great job so far this year. That's a position that we really worked hard at, and I've seen the kickers out there really working hard every practice. So I was excited for him to hit that, because that was big for us too going in the second half.
Ryan Hennessy with the next question.
Najee, I asked Patrick and Nick the same question. Tua making his debut yesterday. I'm sure you saw. What does that say about him after everything he's been through, being a teammate of his, seeing his rehab, and now turning his dreams into a reality?
Yeah, it was good. He overcame a lot. Like he said, it was a big injury. I was right there when it happened. So for him to overcome all that, overcome all the doubters, and step on the field and make plays, it should be inspiring to other folks.
John Zener with the next question.
Yeah, Najee, I know it's just Monday. You haven't necessarily been around the team totally, but how do you expect this team to kind of respond from that win, to kind of refocus and come back down to earth after that win?
Well, yeah, like I haven't been around the team yet, but I mean, I hope that they're past it. I mean, we have a 24-hour rule. We enjoy the win for 24 hours, and we move on to the next team. We're playing a good team. They have a really good team, so hopefully they move past it and their mind is ready for next week, this upcoming game.
Over to AP Stedham.
AP,
good afternoon, Najee.
AP, what's up with it, man?
I'm
What's
good, bro.
up
How's
with it?
everything?
I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
Hey, Najee, you hadn't carried the ball 31 times in quite a while. How did that
Since
feel?
high school, man. Yeah.
Yeah, high school, right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing was, you had the quarterback throw for 400 yards, two wide receivers 160 yards. You had 150 yards. The kicker was perfect.
Perfect.
What's the next progression for your offense after that performance against a top 5 SEC team?
Yeah. Well, the next progression is to do it every week, again and again and again, until the season's over. Hopefully, we perform at that level every single game. I hope that no matter who we're playing, from not so great team on film to a great team, that we play to the level of our standard. Mac played good, the wideouts played good, but most importantly, the line played good. And the line obviously that took care of everything else for me. And I think it was a hard-fought game, and hopefully we keep this up every week.
Kirk, over to you.
Najee.
You said something? Did you say something?
Yeah, there you are.
Oh.
Yeah, I was wondering, tell me how it feels for you when you're asked to run out the clock. You get a lot of carries there at the end, and just keep the ball moving and keep the clock running. How do you feel when the game is at that point?
How do I feel to run out the clock? The last, I think, 4 minutes left on the clock or something it was. Is that what you're asking? Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I mean, it's good. Anytime that I have the opportunity to get the ball, I try to make the most of it. It was good defense. But at the same time, you got to do what's best for the team. And what's best for the team at that moment was to run out the clock so we could finish out the game. And the line did a good job. We got a couple big first downs to end out the clock and go in victory formation. And that's really it.
Michael Casagrande, over to you.
Just wondered what you thought about the post-game locker room, seeing the excitement, the emotion of winning that game, and seeing Coach Saban dance the way he did. What was that like?
Yeah, man, it was it was exciting to see Coach Saban dance. And we were glad to have him back. After all that stuff that happened, we're glad to have him back. So, it was glad to see him celebrate with us the win.
Stephen Smith, over to you.
Hey, Najee, Coach Saban talked about, wanting to see Dylan Moses cut it loose a little bit. So how did the linebacker cut loose in that second half?
How did the linebacker cut loose in the second half?
Yeah, Dylan Moses.
How did he cut loose? What do you
I'm saying, in terms
how well the defense played, basically?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, the defense did an amazing job. They gave us a lot of opportunities on offense by giving a lot of three and out stops, a lot of turnovers. I feel like the whole defense really stepped up a lot this week. They're doing an amazing job this year, even with what everybody's saying. I think that they're doing an amazing job this year. And Dylan obviously played to the best as he does every week.
These will be our final 3 questions. Tony Sakalas, you're up.
Najee, Mac described the Devontae as having a Jordan-like competitor. What have you seen from him in that regard? And then also that catch in the back of the end zone. What does that do for the offense when you see him kind of make a grab like that?
Yeah, Smitty's always a competitor. Ever since we got here together, even high school, he's always been a competitor. The catch in the back in the end zone, it was a great catch. Anytime you can make plays like that, we always tell ourselves, we got to make as much plays as possible. So Schmitty obviously made a good play right there, and made us get up. I don't know what the score was at that time, but made us get up even a higher lead. That was the final score, final touchdown right there. Yeah, and it made us get up. So Schmitty's always been a competitor though, ever since high school, freshman year.
Haley Sutton, go ahead.
Hey, Najee, I was curious, did y'all hear that Saban was coming back before the game, or was it a surprise when he showed up? And how did that change the dynamic going into Saturday's game at all?
No, we knew he was gonna come back. We was informed about it, we was informed about it at the hotel. For him to be there was it was good, but without Coach Saban being there, the goal never changes. The goal is to come in and play hard for 60 minutes against Georgia, and that's what we did.
Final question will be for James Ogletree.
Yeah, Najee, you mentioned how good of a job your line did blocking for you. What does it say about their progression and their improvement this season that they were able to do that against such a talented Georgia defensive front?
Yeah, I always tell people that me personally, I feel like we have the best O-line in the country. And for them to progress each week, each game, each day in practice, like I said, I feel like they need more attention being brought to them than what they have right now. And Coach Flood and everybody in that room is doing an amazing job. They progress every week, every day in practice, and I feel like they don't get enough attention. So if y'all can y'all give them more attention and maybe bring them up there for a couple of interviews like Wood and Landon and all them boys.
Thank you, Najee. That wraps up Monday's press conference. Thanks, everyone.